It's Friday, finally. Let's talk music. How the heck you doing, 33? It's been a long time since I've done a Friday night vinyl video, and I'll tell you why. There's a couple reasons, but the primary reason is that Canada Post was on strike for like a month, which meant I had no mail coming in, and I'd ordered a bunch of records. So my Friday videos are always vinyl pickups, record reviews, and mailbag items. And I rely on the postal service for much of that stuff, and it wasn't around. So finally, around Christmas time, or just before Christmas, the strike was over and items started coming back in, including this. I just got this. This is a prototype I had made up of the Friday Night Vinyl whiskey glass. So they're available in the merch store if you should want one. Okay, I got some cool mailbag items coming up I want to show you, but first I got two. I'm going to show two records today that I picked up. Oh, by the way, my wife got me this for Christmas, made in Manitoba. I thought it was fun. Which record should I show you first? I will show you this one. This is one I was waiting for the longest time because I had ordered it from Juno Records in the UK, and again, postal strike, this sat in the Canada Post warehouse for like a month or something. Anyway, this is the Warner Brothers Demos, 1977. So before Van Halen recorded their awesome debut album, they recorded some demos for Warner, and there are a whole bunch of songs on that one. This is not the complete demos. How many tracks are on here? There's 8 plus 7. There's 15 tracks on here. It's missing several tracks from those demo sessions, including Running with the Devil, You Really Got Me, Feel Your Love, Little Dreamer. The focus on this vinyl pressing is, more on some of the rarities. A lot of these, or some of these, showed up on later albums as well. It's got House of Pain, which ended up on 1984. I made some notes here. It has Big Trouble, which became Big River on A Different Kind of Truth. It has Put Out the Lights. Put Out the Lights, if you ask me, the original version on here is the best unreleased Van Halen song. I don't know why they didn't put it on one of the earlier albums. It's kind of poppy track, kind of like Dance the Night Away is on Van Halen 2, but Put Out the Lights later became Beats Working, again on A Different Kind of Truth. It's got Let's Get Rockin', which became Out of Space on A Different Kind of Truth. Whole bunch of stuff on here. Anyway, really cool album. The sound quality is not the best, but it's not terrible either. It kind of sounds like a dub of a dub that was recorded off radio. It wasn't recorded off radio, but people who were around in the 80s when you used to dub cassettes will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I was really happy to grab that one. And this other one I also ordered from Juno when I placed the order for the Van Halen record. This is the latest release from Tuk Smith and the Restless Hearts, Rogue to Redemption. I haven't put any of these records in the outer sleeves yet, but I have been listening to them. I said towards the end of last year that this was my favorite album of 2024. I stand by that. When I said that, I'd only streamed it. I'm happy to finally get a physical copy. Tuk Smith, man, a rock star. This guy should be huge. Punk rock roots, but this album is very, very power poppy, but kind of like hard rock meets power pop. It's not quite as rockin' as his previous release. This one's a little more polished, but I absolutely love this album, man. I made some notes. Did I say anything else here? In my notes, I said Tuck is the one guy who could save rock and roll. I said punk, he's got punk rock roots, but this is pure power pop meets hard rock. Great songwriting, excellent production. If you're not familiar, man, check out Tuk Smith. If this world was fair in any way, Tuck would be a huge, huge rock star. As I said, this is my favorite album released in 2024. Let's open the mail. All right, the first thing I want to show you are these speakers, these powered studio monitor speakers that Edifier sent over. I'm a fan of Edifier speakers. I have these Edifier powered speakers, which I bought like 2 or 3 years ago, and I use them for my computer. And Edifier asked me if they could send these ones over. I said, sure, why not? These are the Edifier MR3 speakers. They're powered speakers. They're 18 watts each, and they retail for $119 US or $149 in Canada. Each one comes with a 3.5-inch driver and a 1-inch tweeter. It's got a built-in Class D amp capable of high-resolution music streaming. Quickly show you what you got here. On the front, you have the power and the volume. You have the headphone output. You have an auxiliary input there. On the back, you got the speaker connectors. You have balanced inputs, and you have the RCA ins, and you have these 2 knobs. They call them, the proper name is acoustic tuning knobs. One is to boost or cut high frequencies. One is to boost or cut low frequencies. Again, these are studio monitors, so they have a really flat response. So know that before you get into it. They're also really small and lightweight. They're smaller and lighter than I expected. But when I plugged them in, these things had a really big soundstage, surprisingly so. And I was pleasantly surprised. Again, just the size of these things, I wasn't expecting them to sound that large. I think these would be good for computer speakers. They would be good for video editing. They would be good connected to, not connected to, but kind of in a small room. I use these mostly to stream via Bluetooth from my phone. There's also this new Edifier app, which you can download. It's got some presets and custom EQs, volume control, that kind of stuff. Thank you very much, Edifier, for sending these over.
Channel 33 RPM.
This is cool. This is cool. This came from my friend Cyril. He went and visited Third Man Records last summer, and he was holding onto this for me. Man, I went to Cyril's place. He lives in town here. It was my first time going there. You should see Cyril's basement music room. I've never seen such a crazy music room in my life. He's a fan of hard rock music like I am too, and he's got like every record imaginable. I said, hey, do you have a copy of Motley Crue's original leather version of Too Fast for Love, which is super rare, and he pulled it out. He had 2 copies of it. He's got an awesome movie collection, just super cool. So glad to check out his place. I suggested to Cyril that he takes pictures and sends them over for a future episode of Vinyl Dens. I'm not sure how enthusiastic he was about that idea, but Cyril, if you're watching this, man, I really think you should send it over. I think people would love to see your music room. As I said, it's the best. I think it's the best music room I've ever been in. Its whole basement is fantastic. Anyway, he picked this up for me. Greetings from Third Man Records, Detroit, Michigan. I freaking love it, man. You did not have to buy this for me at all. Did not have to do that, man, but I appreciate it. So I will wear this proudly. Thank you very much, Cyril. And finally, Tim Derling sent me over his latest book, and he sent it over a couple of months ago. So Tim, I apologize for taking so long to show it on the channel. I haven't done, as I said off the top, an episode of Friday Night Vinyl for a while, so that is my only defense. Anyway, Tim has written several books, including one on 8-tracks and some others. He has a very cool YouTube channel called Tim's Vinyl Confessions. He's a fellow Canadian. Here's his latest book, Red on Black, The Listener's Guide to Sammy Hagar. And he basically goes to Sammy's entire discography and has little tidbits of information on all the tracks and all the albums and that kind of stuff. So I have been reading this. I'm not quite done yet. I am a Sammy fan, but funny enough, I'm not overly familiar with the stuff he did before Van Halen, except for the track I Can't Drive 55, and I guess the track There's Only One Way to Rock. So this was an educational experience for me as well, looking through this. If I had one complaint, it's that I was thirsty for even more knowledge. I was reading this and go, this is cool, man. Tim, give me some more. I want more information on these albums and your thoughts on these albums. and that kind of stuff. There's Van Halen stuff in here as well. So well put together, really well written. This is available on Amazon if you're interested in learning more. It's called Red on Black, again by Tim Durling from Tim's Vinyl Confessions. Tim, thank you very much, man. I appreciate this book. I appreciate you sending over this book. All right, 33ers, what have you been up to? What have you been spinning? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. Until next time, keep on spinning.